Everyone's heard that Australia is full of snakes, spiders, insects, lizards, but are there really that many spiders and snakes in Australia? Alright, hello, welcome back to a new video on this channel. As I start every video, a big thank you for each and every one of you. I feel I go on like, a tape that doesn't stop. But I'm just full of gratitude and full of appreciation to each and every one of you who click on this video, who has clicked on this video, who clicks on other videos, who has subscribed, who likes, who comments. It just goes a long way and motivates me to make more and more videos. This video is about a topic that I've had a lot of questions around. It's one of the two stereotypes that people get from their family, friends, when they tell them that they're going to Australia. One, that Australia is a very racist country. Local Australians are really racist towards Indians here, which in my opinion is not true. Now each and everybody has had a different experience. I'm not talking about in a negative way, but in general, that is not true in my opinion. Secondly, that there are a lot of snakes, lizards, spiders in Australia in households, which again is not true, and that is why I'm here to debunk that myth. So let's get into it. Now everyone's heard it that Australia is full of spiders, snakes, lizards. There might be spiders in normal urban households. There's snake crossing the roads. There's kangaroos out and about, but none of that is true. Okay. Especially for international students like us, migrants like us, who are generally moving to areas such as Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, Gold Coast. This is not true at all. And here, one thing that I'd like to mention is the difference in between what metro city means and what regional means. Now, whenever people hear about regional areas such as Adelaide, such as Gold Coast, such as Perth, such as Ballarat, such as Geelong in Melbourne, they start to associate regional with words like gaon, village, more backward areas. But let me tell you, these sort of areas are developing day by day. Adelaide is now mostly like Melbourne when it comes to population, when it comes to traffic, when it comes to footfall, when it comes to general day-to-day activities and events. So it's not like a village at all. At least I can speak for Adelaide, but I have multiple friends in Geelong, multiple friends in Gold Coast. Gold Coast is known to be the party city, man. Come on. So there's nothing such as a village when you hear the term regional. It's just been termed as a regional area by the government, which means that it is developing. It's not like your big metro cities such as Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane. But let me tell you, it is definitely getting there. And if I'm doing this for the next 2, 3, 5 years, you'll definitely see me making a video around how Adelaide has been taken out of the regional areas and is being termed as a metro city. Now then, you'll ask me, what about the movies? What about the TikToks where, you see tiger sharks near the beach, where you see koalas in households, where you see snakes in the ceiling? Those are all remote areas. Like there was this one TikTok, I don't know if I can display it over here or not, but I think a Filipino couple found a koala in their house. Now they're staying in, I know where they were staying. They were staying in one of the suburbs which is called McGill, which is near the UniSA, University of South Australia McGill campus. There, wildlife is, pretty big. It's near the gum trees where koalas like to be around. And that's why you see a bunch of koalas in and about that area. And if you keep your doors open, just one koala came in and was on their bed. That is just a one-off. And let me tell you why. I have some stats right behind me which basically state that all of the things that are being shown to you on TikTok or in different movies, in different TV shows, it's not true. So according to the Australian Museum, there has been no deaths through spider bites since 1979 in Australia. According to the Australian Venom Research, there are only 2 to 3 maximum deaths through snake bites due to the venom that is secreted through the snake bites. Just only 2 to 3 in the whole of Australia. When it comes to crocodiles, you'll only see crocodiles in backward areas of Queensland and Northern Territory. Northern Territory, yes, it is known to have, wildlife out and about. People, when, I play cricket, so we have a lot of teammates that come down from Darwin to play cricket in Adelaide, and they tell us stories of how, they go swimming with their dogs, because when an animal, detects something, they start barking. So that means that there is some other wildlife in the ocean, in the sea. Though these things will just here in backward areas of Australia, as I said. I don't think a lot of students go to Northern Territory, and even if they do, they don't go to such backward areas where crocodile hunting is even, a designation. It is a job that people do and earn a lot through it. Now, coming on to my experience, I have been in Adelaide for the past 3.5, 4 years, and I've never seen a snake in my own house. Yes, a very small spider here and there, but that too, near the balcony, near windows, because I think it's the season. Whenever it gets too hot, they try to migrate into homes. And those are not your, big spiders or the venomous spiders at all. Those are really, really small spiders that you can even shoo away out of the house. And you don't even need to shoo them away. It's like this small, right? So I personally do not like to kill any insects. So I just collect them on a tissue paper and I just throw them outside the balcony. That's about it. Cockroaches, maybe just one or two here or there, but that also comes from how clean you keep your house. Generally, houses in Australia are pretty well built, pretty well manufactured, so you won't see any holes or anything through which different insects can come through. And whenever it's sunny, yes, there is one thing, there are a lot of flies, not mosquitoes, nothing that will bite you, but just general house flies. Like when we play cricket, we get a special spray that we have to buy from nearby supermarkets or pharmacies that keeps those house flies away. So yeah, in my 3.5 years here in Australia in Adelaide, I've never seen a big spider in my house, neither seen a snake. Saw a snake once when I was hiking, but there you're supposed to see wildlife. I have multiple connections and friends in Sydney and Melbourne. Neither of them have seen anything inside their household, anything that is life threatening. Yes, there are insects here or there, and that is everywhere, right? That is genuinely everywhere. Even if you're coming from India or any South Asian country, you will see cockroaches and you will see different sort of insects in your house at one time or the other of the year, and that really depends on season. And that is literally how Australia is. And let me tell you some experiences of local Aussies as well, yeah? I think I read it somewhere that about 95% of local Australians go their whole life without even seeing a snake. My previous manager, I think her fiance's dad used to work on a farm. So they used to wear gum boots on their feet while they were collecting their crops and everything. There you'll see snake. That is a farm, that is a rural area. You'll see insects, you'll see snakes there. But about 90 to 95% of areas where 80 to 85% of population is living, which are urban city metro areas, you won't see any of these wildlife, any of the insects. Now let's come to kangaroos. A lot of you might have seen a couple of clips of kangaroos boxing. Total myth. That video might be true, might not be true, I have no clue. But here you will not see kangaroos jumping out and about. Maybe in regional areas, and when I say regional, I mean backward areas of Melbourne, Adelaide, where the population is handful. There you might see kangaroos. When I've driven from Adelaide to Melbourne about 7-8 times, and it's like an 8.5 hour drive through outbacks, and that is where you'll see kangaroos on the sides of the road. Unfortunately, there are some, sometimes your car gets hit, or the kangaroo gets hit by a car as well. That's a very common thing here in Australia, but that's generally if you're road tripping and if you're generally going through the outbacks. My manager, for example, he has a house in the outbacks down south, and he showed me a video that got caught in his the cameras that are in your doorbells, that there was a kangaroo literally hopping around in his backyard. That's it. Those are really, really rural backward areas, probably about 2.5 hours away from the CBD. So if you look at international students, you look at people like us, we'll generally be staying either in the CBD or about maximum of 20 kilometers away from the CBD. Chalo, if it's Melbourne, Sydney, more than that, but you won't see insects or any of these things in those areas any which way. Yes, when you settle, when you maybe buy a house, but by that time, you'll get used to it. And this is nothing. This is not life threatening. Alright, so finally, to end this video, what I'll do is I'll put some links of official sources in the description below. You can have a read for yourself if you're not convinced by this video. But yeah, with that done, I'll see you in the next one.
I can't help myself. When I feel sad, I escape from my sense. Lately music's been my reminiscence. That's when I listen. I know it's bad that